morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great honor to be here with you today. It's actually almost 10 years that I came back. The first time in MMA. I remember I was here also being the first, one of the keynote speaker, and also was one of the member of the jury in 10 years ago. And now MMA has become one of the most wanted marketing event of the year. So big congratulations to the MMA team and thank you for having me here. So today, when I was asked to speak in the event today, and I know this is all great people in the marketing community that I love, and I love to be back. But the question is, what am I going to talk about? Because, I may not have the best knowledge about marketing to share with you here, but maybe I can share something that I'm passionate about and also something that we own here can make an impact for Vietnam. And that's why I choose a topic which is data-driven healthcare, because I believe healthcare is an important topic that Vietnam has to leapfrog to grow this country. And it's also happened to be that I'm now working with Pharmacity, and our mission is to protect the well-being and the healthcare of all Vietnamese family. And that's why I choose this topic to talk with all of you today. So let me start first with a very quick landscape of healthcare industry in Vietnam. This is just the three big things that I want to highlight. I remember 20 years ago when I started working, people were telling me that Vietnam was a young country, if you all remember. But actually now, we are about to go into an aging population soon. In fact, if some of Vietnamese would know this line, say, Vietnam chưa giàu, đã già. Vietnam not yet rich, but already become old soon. And I was wonder, why is that so? Why do they say that? And I was trying to look at some facts, and it's actually quite worrisome. So Vietnam, we have 20 million of people with the age of 60 years old and above by 2036. And if you know that if we continue growing our GDP of 6.5% year on year, we are projected to become the developed country by 2045. That is the earliest. And that's why it makes sense for them to say Vietnam has yet become rich but already old. So meaning, aging population will require healthcare, and that's why we need to really see how we can improve healthcare for Vietnam. The second thing is the healthcare system in Vietnam. Actually, when we look at the facts, globally and regionally, we also at a lower ranking. So according to the CEO World ranking about the healthcare quality ranking, Vietnam is actually at 66 out of 89 rank. And if you look at the whole ASEAN country, we are number 6 in the ASEAN Healthcare Index. So this is actually something that we have to think about. It's a huge opportunity. But the good thing is people has been spending on healthcare. So Vietnam currently, every person will spend about averagely $159 a year for healthcare. And that is very similar to what China used to be 10 years ago at about $165 per person. And China now is more than $650 per person. So the market is growing. The people want to spend and they want to be improved in their healthcare. And in my journey of working on a topic that I'm very passionate about, that is Vietnam Nation brand, and in one which I've just published 4 months ago, and in one of the survey that I've done for people living in Vietnam and also outside Vietnam, And when we ask people, what are the top 3 things that makes Vietnam the most livable country? And the 3 things pops up: education, healthcare, and sustainable environment. And that's why I have strong belief that we all have to make a big contribution to improve our healthcare. And how can we do this? And I believe data-driven healthcare approach will help us to leapfrog this quality of healthcare in Vietnam. So, why data-driven for healthcare? Because I think you all know data now is everywhere. You know, we have clinical data. People is actually, sharing data in the wearables that they do. Personal data, and actually Vietnam is gonna having the e-prescription ready by June this year. So everybody we have an e-prescription. So the data is actually everywhere. And if we know how to maximize it, we can definitely improve the customer satisfaction, improve the company financial health because it will be more cost efficient, and also improve Vietnam healthcare. And I will share with you why so. So let me start with this example. Imagine that a customer go to a pharmacy and she has a headache and she wants to buy an Panadol Extra. The pharmacist will respond to her. Have you taken this medication before? Do you have any drugs allergies? Would they stop here? This is a very common thing that we are always heard. But would you be impressed if the pharmacist would tell you, I've seen that you never use Panadol Extra and you are diagnosed with high blood pressure. And this medicine maybe have a little bit higher level of caffeine. Would you like to try something like blue Panadol? Would you be more impressed? And this one can be done because of data-driven approach. So there are 4 types of data-driven approach in healthcare currently. The first one is descriptive, which is the first level of data collection, which is the first thing that the pharmacist just asks. Have you used this medicine? Do you have any allergies? And everything. This is the first level so that we can understand the historical data of the customer. But the next level would be diagnostic. This is about after you get the what they are doing. Diagnostic is about the why. Why is happening? Why? What is the root cause? And from here, you start forming the profile of the customer. In here, they actually, for the example that I just shared, because of the data collection, then they know that she actually, have high blood pressure to start diagnosing. Then the third level is called predictive. This is where we can use the technology, AI can be used so that we can predict what happened. And this is what happened, that they can tell them that, oh, you have high blood pressure, but here's a different medicine that I have this level here, level there, that they can predict that could become, a risk for the customer. And that move it to the last level of data analytics, which is called prescriptive, which is in fact based on the prediction. We can already tell the customer what would be the action plan, which is in this case, they say, would you try something else, which is maybe better for your health condition? So that is the 4 level of data analytics that can be applied in healthcare. And how can we do that? We can do that by collecting data from different sources, right? And I think you are all an expert of that here. You know where to collect from the email, from the telephone, but also their Facebook profile and their clinical data from different things. Then you actually can paint the picture of the customer profile. And in fact, this is actually can be done live, real time, not, so this is something that I can share some example globally that already happening. So because of these 4 levels of data analytics, here are some of the example of the application of the benefit of data analytics. So the first one is precision medicine, which is what the example I just shared with you. Because we know what's the customer profile, what's the prediction. And in fact, we can already use some gene technology there and we can tell people that we can offer them the exact medicine that fits their needs. The other thing is about the medical error detect, where you actually can have the AI enable decision system that can actually predict what is it that customer can likely to make a mistake. For example, they don't take the medicine on time, which is can causing kind of their performance of the medicine. Or the other example would be the health population support, which is needed for predicting the outbreak, of, for example, in COVID-19, we can actually use the data to predict what is the behavior of people and come with a plan. Or let's say looking at the data, we can tell in Vietnam what would be the month that people will have more likely to have dengue disease, or they have more problem with hand, foot, mouth disease, and so on, and we can actually prepare for that. Precision marketing is actually very well an application here. That could be a benefit for you here, that actually the research has shown that when they do precision marketing in healthcare, the cost of recruiting the loyalty customer has been 5 times less expensive than the normal marketing. And then also preventive medicine is another application too, because actually in the US, 75% of the medicine spending is on chronic medicine. So if we can do the preventive medicine for people with chronic disease, that actually can help. Okay, so can I have the next slide, please? So because of all of this, we all see that it's a benefit of data analytics. And I just want to share here that Vietnam data analytics market is in fact doing very well. Globally, it's growing, but actually Vietnam is among the top 6 countries in APEC in terms of data analytics. So this is great. I'm very happy when I saw this data. So I think, we can definitely be the forefront in terms of data analytic, data-driven healthcare. We have seen example globally, like big pharmacies company in the world like CVS or Walgreens. They have been applying data-driven healthcare, and we've seen that they can do that live, and they can see that they can improve the number of medicine being disposed to the customer, and also saving millions of dollars by applying this. The last point that I want to talk about is, yes, data-driven healthcare, we all know that it's great, and if we do it, we can make a huge impact, but it's important for the data privacy. Because if we don't do it well, we do lose the trust with the customer. And I think one thing in Vietnam that you can be aware of is, as of April 17, Vietnam government has already issued the Decree 13 about the privacy regulation. This is great, and this actually can help us to really further strengthen this and growing the data-driven healthcare. Yeah, so, I hope that this inspires you with some story about how data-driven healthcare can help us to leapfrog the healthcare quality in Vietnam. Thank you very much.